Ahoy hoy! I think we're about to start some streaming. Just gotta make sure that I have things set up, which I didn't, of course, because I'm cool like that. Alright, so anyway, welcome back to, this is itsavgbltpta, which stands for I totally suck at video games but love to play them anyway. I'm vgpta, your host for this stream. And we are playing Hakuoki Stories of the Shinsengumi, which came out for the PS3. We're doing Harada's route. We've been doing it. We actually completed his route in the main game. So now we are playing the stories section of the game, which is basically like extra bonuses. They call them fan discs, I think, in Japan. Like, it's extra content that comes out after the game is already out for a while. And we didn't used to get stuff like that in the US, but with otome games, we're actually getting them, because I know Code Realize is actually getting the fan disc version coming out, which I pre-ordered this limited edition, of course, and stuff like that. So anyway, we're on chapter 2 of the side stories, and they give you little summaries of what's going on with the character. So, February 1865, Ito joins the Shinsengumi as deputy commander, making Sannan feel as if his position is now irrelevant. Oh, yeah, I should mention, if you haven't been watching so far, you should probably go back because you're going to be pretty lost. But if you have been watching, I like to narrate things because I like reading out scripting and narration and stuff. I'm shit at the acting part, but I only do the girls part. I let the guys speak for themselves. But anyway, so yeah, I do that, and with some very limited commentary if something just strikes my fancy. Back to the text. Despairing of his condition, he takes the mysterious drug Kyoto is researching. The circumstances surrounding this even make the protagonist feel that she is not part of the Shinsengumi, just as she was beginning to feel accepted. Dun dun dun. June 1865. While on patrol with the Shinsengumi, the protagonist encounters a girl named Kaoru who looks just like her, which we never really got into. I guess that's for the other routes. Later, the Shinsengumi is commanded to guard Nijo Castle during the Shogun's visit. While there, men claiming to be demons appear to say that the protagonist is one of them. June 1865. At Kondo's request, Dr. Ryojun Matsumoto, a friend of Kodo's, visits the Shinsengumi headquarters to conduct a physical examination of the men. He tries to convince the Shinsengumi of the dangers of Furies and the Water of Life, but Sannan refuses to accept his argument. Okita can't seem to stop coughing. It's because he's got tuberculosis. October 1866. Wow. Wait, we went from June of 1860. Wow, this skips like a whole year. Jesus. Alright, a few days after the protagonist encounters a girl named Sen, Harada and his division arrest several men for attempting to vandalize a notice board placed by the shogunate. After receiving a reward from the Aizu domain, Harada takes the captains out to party in Shimabara. And now we have Shinsengumi Adventures 2! The protagonist receives word from Sen that a number of suspicious men have been meeting in Shimabara, and one of them looks like her father. After reporting this information to the Shinsengumi, it is suggested she dress as a geisha to infiltrate the meeting. Are you sure you'd like to begin here? Hi! I got my trusty cell phone ready to tell me what the hell to say. Oh, it's Sen. She cool. She also a demon. A girl shouted at a ronin who was attempting to kick a small child. Before the man could turn his anger toward her, I found myself stepping in between them. The Shinsengumi's job in Kyoto was to ensure the safety of its citizens. Protecting women and children from ronin who wished to hurt them was one of their most important duties. But I wasn't a warrior like them. I didn't feel obligated to move because it was part of my job. I just couldn't let it happen. That was how I first met Sen. I'd seen 3 winters in Kyoto now. A lot of things happened to the Shinsengumi in that time. Deputy Commander Ito and his men joined courtesy of an introduction from Heisuke. Sannan injured his arm to such an extent that he chose to drink the water of life and become a Fury. In order to maintain secrecy regarding the Furies, the headquarters of the Shinsengumi left the becoming cramped Yagi residence and moved to Nishi-Hongwaji Temple. Still can't say that word. Days passed. The longer I stayed with them, the more I found myself experiencing things I never expected. For better or worse, I felt that it was my fate to cross paths with each and every one of them. Kondo arranged for me to meet Dr. Ryojun Matsumoto, the man I'd been trying to talk to since I first came to Kyoto. From him I learned information about my father's research into the water of life. He spoke with me very seriously about furies and the danger associated with them. I also, shall we say, encountered 3 men claiming that I was, like them, a demon. Kazuma, Amagiri, and Shiranui. As allies of the Satsuma and Choshu, they clashed with the Shinsengumi on multiple occasions. While out on rounds a short while after, I defended the girl, I later learned she was called Sen, from a ronin. A few of us also crossed paths with a young woman by the name of Kaoru, who bore a striking resemblance to me. It was when we were trying to resolve the Sanjo board incident that we decided to take a break at Sumi in Shimabara. A very beautiful courtesan named Kimigiku entertained us while we were there. January 1867. My relationships with everyone I had met so far began slowly changing. Sometimes some events become incredibly important to me, even if others saw them as inconsequential. This story is from one of those times. Alright. We are all the way in 1867. Okita and I, no, that says first. Good start. Okita and his first division had allowed me to travel on rounds with them. By now the Shinsengumi Blues frightened off a lot of people, so I was surprised to see someone running up to our unit with a smile on her face. Chizuru! Oh, Sen?
あれ？何その子？知り合い？
Well, I don't know her exactly.
前に老子に絡まれてたところを助けてもらったんです。ねえねえ、よかったらお団子をご馳走させてくれない？この間のお礼に。
What? But I'm on rounds right now. I glanced at Okita out of the corner of my eye. The whole unit stood behind him, awaiting orders. He studied Sen with an inscrutable expression for several long moments.
行ってきたらいいんじゃない？たまには息抜きも必要でしょ？
You don't mind?
構わないよ。正直言って、君がくっついてきても何の役にも立たないしね。
The words coming out of his mouth were harsh, and the smile on his face was a hair away from sharp, but normally he'd have to keep an eye on me constantly. That was the rule, so for him to let me go like this, it was incredibly generous.
近くを一回りしたら迎えに来るから、ゆっくりお茶でも飲んでおいで。
Right, thank you! I was nearly bouncing in my enthusiasm. He simply turned around, gestured to his men, and continued walking the patrol.
さあ、行きましょう。あそこのお店、お団子が美味しいの。
Okay. She took hold of my hand and led me to a bench at the tea house where we sat down.
今日はね、あなたのことを少し詳しく聞かせてもらいたいんだけど。
About me?
あなた、今日の生まれじゃないでしょ？なのに、どうしてここにいるのかなって。あとは、女の子のあなたが、なんで新選組にいるのかってことも。
Well, I hesitated. I wasn't sure how much I could tell her. She must have seen how conflicted I was because...
何か悩みがあるんでしょ？そういう顔してるわ。よかったら話してみて。相談に乗れることがあるかもしれないし。
Her kind intentions were obvious, and I felt the emotional wall I erected several years ago begin to crumble. I could talk to her, right? If I made sure to not reveal any of the secrets of the Shinsengumi told me, upon pain of death, not to speak about, then the rest had to be okay. Well, I told Sen the story of how I ended up in Kyoto. I explained that since my father had been working for the Shinsengumi, they were taking care of me. Only the captains and leaders knew I was a girl. The disguise was to keep up appearances for the regular rank-and-file soldiers. I also mentioned that my father was still missing, though we'd heard he might have hidden himself among the Satsuma in Choshu.
そういうことだったんだ。私と同い年くらいなのに苦労してるのね。
Dot dot dot. I looked down at my hands. Sen's voice, when she spoke next, was slow and hesitant.
お父さんの外見とか特徴を教えてくれる？島原には知り合いがいるの。あそこには都中の情報が集まってくるわ。
I gave her as accurate of a description of him as I could, trying to remember every small detail. She nodded as she listened, and then when I was done...
あなたのお父さんと同一人物かはわからないけど、最近怪しい連中が島原でよく会合を開いてるらしいっていう噂を耳にするの。その中に剃髪の男性が紛れてたって聞いたことがあるわ。
Oh! This could be the lead I was hoping for. But if it was him, then he was collaborating with dangerous people. I must have looked worried because Sen placed her hand on my arm.
あなたのお父さんと同一人物かはわからないけど。
I understand, but the possibility is there. We both sat and thought in silence for a few moments. Suddenly she turned toward me, an intense look in her eyes.
もし島原に行くつもりならいつでも声をかけて。あそこには顔が利くからきっと力になれると思うわ。
Thank you, Sen. I was definitely going to share this information with everyone as soon as I returned to headquarters with Okita. Maybe something would come of it.
なるほど。話は分かった。報告ご苦労、雪村。
俺たちもうさんくせえ連中が島原界隈をうろうろしてるらしいって情報は掴んでた。ただ島原は場所の性質上どうしても御用改めがしにくくてな。証拠もねえのに怪しい客を片っ端から踏んづかまえるわけにもいかねえし、どうしたもんか対処に悩んでたとこだ。
Suddenly, Nagakura, who'd been silent until now, leaned forward with purpose.
なあ土方さん、こういうのはどうだ？
なんだよ新八、いい考えでもあんのか？
俺がこの肉体美でその怪しい奴らの座敷に呼ばれた姉ちゃんを惚れさせて情報を引き出すんだよ。
All around the room, faces turned owlishly toward him, and it was a few moments before anyone could speak.
てめえなんぞの話を真面目に聞こうとした俺がバカだった。
芸者のお姉さんを惚れさせるなんてできるはずねえじゃん。いつも散々金使わされた挙句袖にされてるくせに。
なんだよその反応。俺は真剣に言ってんだぞ。女ってのは惚れた男の言うことなら何でも聞くもんだろうが。そんなの何十年かかると思ってんだよ。芸者ってのはただでさえ口が堅えのに。そんな面倒な真似するより芸者に化けて客から直接情報を引き出す方が早いだろうが。
なるほど。確かにそうだが、一体誰がそんな役目を請け負うんだ？
I wonder.
新選組には揚げ屋に潜入できる女性など。
I nervously raised my hand, interrupting him. Would I be okay?
君が？しかし、嫁入り前の若い女性にそんなことをさせるわけには。
反対だよ、絶対反対。島原の客って酔っ払いばっかだぞ。何されるかわかんねえって。
いいんじゃない？
Except for
面白
you.
そうだし芸者の格好したこの子の姿なんて想像つかないけどね。
お前がそんな真似する必要なんざねえよ。万が一のことがあったらどうすんだ。
The room burst into noise. Everyone seemed to have a differing opinion. I would... I'm like 90% sure this is the one. Give me a second. Yeah, it is. I'd like to try. I think I'll be okay. I know someone who has connections in Shimabara. I won't be going in all alone. The leaders were unable to come to a consensus, so I decided to contact Sen. She responded the very next day. We were invited to a restaurant near the Nishihongwanji Temple as her guests. And the purpose of the visit...
いらっしゃい。準備して待ってたわよ。
I'm very sorry for bothering you about this.
何言ってるの。頼りにしてくれてすごく嬉しいわ。
お久しぶりですな。
Hey.
まさかこんなお願いされるとは思いまへんどしたけど。
Ah, you're... Then Kimigiku is the friend you mentioned, the one from Shimabara?
ええ。姫様には昔からようお世話になってます。
Do I know she's a princess yet?
早速準備しましょうか。こっちの控え部屋に来て。着物持ってきたから着替えましょう。きちんとお化粧もしなきゃね。
Okay. I followed them into the other room. A large case sat prominently in the center of the room. Opening it revealed a gorgeous kimono and obi, along with all the necessary underclothes, a delicate hairpin, and a makeup set.
早速着てみて。あなたに似合いそうなのを2人で選んできたんだから。
Yes. My hands were shaking. This stunning kimono was something I would never have seen, let alone wore normally. It was a little overwhelming. I removed my male disguise and began putting on the first layer of the kimono. Dressing as a geisha wasn't something I ever thought I'd do in my life, but it felt good to, after such a long time, finally wear women's clothing again. A smile came to my face, and I realized I was happy. So, Sen, are you sure I look okay?
大丈夫。すっごく綺麗になったから、きっとみんなびっくりするわよ。
Do you think so? It was the first time I'd ever worn something so elaborate or put on makeup. The obi, the sleeves, even my hair, styled and tied up as it was heavy. They refused to allow me to glance in a mirror, so I had no idea what the final result was. Sen and Kimigiku both assured me multiple times that I looked good in it. I wasn't sure if I should take that as a praise.
お待たせしました。すごく美人になりましたよ。
It's not what she said. Sugoku Bijin, like a super good-looking person, but whatever. As she spoke, she placed her hands on my shoulder, flashed me a quick smile, and firmly pushed me forward through the doorway. What do I look like? Well, that's pretty good, actually. The moment my foot stepped inside, all conversation ceased. My heart thundered in my ears. I was so embarrassed. I couldn't raise my head, so I kept my gaze trained on the floor. Maybe this wouldn't work. I likely looked frumpy and plain. In fact, I was sure I did. Beautiful kimonos such as this weren't made to look good on someone like me.
なあ、そこにいるのってお前なのか?
My head shot up. Heisuke's eyes were wide in his face, and his eyebrows had nearly disappeared into his hairline. Yes, it's me. Is it that bad? In an instant, he turned bright red and shook his head.
いや、そんなことねえって。むしろ。
いや、驚いたな。着物や化粧でこんなにも見違えるとは。普段の君とは別人のようだ。
なかなか似合ってるんじゃねえか。そのまま雑誌に出ても違和感ねえな。
へえ、化けるもんだね。一瞬誰だかわからなかったよ。
元がいいからな。綺麗だぜ。
Thanks.
嘘だろ。いつもとまるっきり別人じゃねえか。 俺が今まで見てたのは一体
Unexpectedly, they only had praise for my appearance. I found that I was having difficulty looking at anyone. What about Saito? And who else are we missing? I think just Saito. Sen turned toward me, her features schooled from the small smile she'd been wearing, and explained what I was to do.
あなたには芸者として炭屋に詰めてもらうことになるわ。
What should I do when I'm called to attend to a customer? Geisha entertain, but I don't know how to dance or play any sort of instrument.
本来ならそうどすけど、素人のお嬢さんにそこまで求めるのも酷やし。
Ah, that doesn't sound hard. I should at least be able to do that much.
もし何かあったら豚書まで文をよこしてくれ。手紙を受け取った大使を客として行かせるから、その時に状況を詳しく報告してくれりゃいい。念のため斉藤と山崎を速やに待機させておく。もし万が一の事態が起こったら奴らに助けを求める。
Yes, I understand. Shortly thereafter, I left with Sen and Kimigiku and headed to Shimabara. Well, at least Saito gets to see me technically then. It was early evening. A large group of customers seemed to have gathered at the Sumi. Perhaps my father was among them. Making up my mind, I headed that direction in hopes of possibly finding out some information. As I reached the hallway outside the banquet room, I was able to overhear snippets of conversation. Silently, I slid the sliding door open a fraction, not enough for anyone inside to notice, and leaned in to listen. A few of the warriors had distinctive accents from the western side of Japan, where the Satsuma and Higo were located.
しかしこの炭屋には新選組の幹部どもも頻繁に訪れると聞きますが、祇園の方に出かけた方が良かったのでは。
知ったことか。時流を読めぬ幕府の犬など恐るるに足らん。
Judging by how antagonistic they were toward the Shinsengumi, the men were probably part of the Imperial Nationalist Party. Were they planning something? I tried to peek through the crack. My father didn't seem to be among them at all, but what should I do? Should I let them know this at headquarters? Beep, bop, boop. Yeah, I'm good at remembering things. Almost dropping my phone, too. What could they be plotting in there? This mission was more lonely than I realized. I found myself beginning to jump at every small sound the longer I stayed by the door. Suddenly...
愛情かかりましたえ。向こうの広間に行ってくれはりますやろか。
What? Someone's requesting me? That's strange. I wonder who... No one should have known I was even there. I had just arrived, and there hadn't been an announcement. Kimigiku's laugh was clear and musical as she answered me with an amused smile.
それはいかはったらわかります。さ、はようお行きやす。
Okay. I was still curious as to what the group of warriors was talking about, but I obediently headed toward the room where Kimigiku informed me the customer was waiting. Good evening. My name is Chizuru. I'm honored to serve. Please be kind to me. Butterflies swirling in my stomach, I carefully placed my fingers on the floor in front of me as Kimigiku showed me, eyes down.
そんな堅苦しい挨拶しなくていいって。ほら、顔上げて。
Huh? My head shot up with a familiar voice, and there they were.
よう、邪魔してるぜ。
何度見てもその着物がよく似合ってるな。
こんばんは。
You guys, why are you here?
それはまあ、今日のタイムも無事に終わったことだし、明日への活力をつけようと思ってよ。
今日は俺のおごりだ。 感情は気にせず好きなだけ食べてくれ。
近藤さんよく言った。そんじゃ遠慮なく品書きに載ってる一番高いものから食わせてもらうぜ。
Okay. Bewildered, I didn't know what to think. I could only blink and rhyme. When I finally focused on what was going on around me, I noticed food and sake had been delivered. I was supposed to be in the sumi to spy on the suspicious group of ronin. Should I really be relaxing here?
まあ、今は難しいこと気にせず楽しんでやれよ。根詰めすぎんのもよくねえだろう。
Alright. I suppose if they have Saito and Yamazaki here, they don't really need me to spy on it too. This must just be to dress her up. The sake must have been strong. As faster than I thought possible, everyone became drunk. Things started getting silly.
どうだ？楽しんでるか？
Yes. I can't have any of the alcohol, but this food is very tasty.
なあ、近藤さん。あれやってくれよ、あれ。まだ彼女には見せてねえだろ？
Did they mention something about how he shoves his fist in his mouth to entertain Geisha? What are you? Kondo flung up his hand, gripped tightly into a fist. Yep.
種も仕掛けもないこの拳があっという間に消えてしまう大奇術。よく見ててくれたまえ。
His mouth opened wide, so wide, and he shoved his fist into it completely. Not something I thought I'd be reading out loud today.
待ってました！妖怪大口男！色町でわざわざこれを披露するあんたの男気に惚れた！
His face flushed with drink, Nagakura shouted and cheered so loudly my ears rang. Wow, that's amazing! How do you do it? Mm.
近藤さん、喋るんなら口からげんこつ出してからにしようぜ。
I watched with some amusement as Kondo, Nagakura, and Harada laughed and joked around. But wait, usually Heisuke would be right in the thick of things at a party like this, but I just realized he hadn't spoken in a while. Glancing around, I found him sitting listlessly in the back of the room, his food untouched and eyes distant.
おい、どうした？ちゃんと見てやらねえと近藤さんがかわいそうだろ。
Oh, did something happen to Heisuke? He looks... Harada glanced sideways at the corner containing the young man, and then back at me.
ああ、あいつはほっとけ。心配するほどのことじゃねえから。
Okay. Even so, I didn't know if it was a good idea to just let him stay there alone. But because I'm not going after Heisuke, I'ma enjoy the evening. Perhaps it was better to leave him there. He might not want me to butt into his problems, and while I was concerned, he could likely deal with it himself. So instead, I turned to my plate and began eating in earnest. In a pointed attempt to not look at Heisuke, I glanced around the room and realized there were no other geisha there. Nagakura had said they came to the Sumi to get a pick-me-up for the long day they had to look forward to tomorrow, but... Harada? Could I ask you something?
ん？なんだ？
He stopped in the middle of pouring himself a drink and turned his full attention to me. Why are all of you really here? If you came to enjoy some sake, then having more geisha around would make the situation livelier. At that, Harada's lips twitched up into a small smile. He leaned in and lowered his voice.
近藤さんの提案なんだよ。
Really?
ああ、お前がしょんぼりしてるらしいって報告を観察型から受けて、もしかしたら嫌な客に当たってんじゃねえかとか、他の芸者にいびられてんじゃねえかって心配してな。だからお前を元気づけてやろうってんでみんなで来てみたってわけだ。
Oh, I see. So they traveled all this way just for me. I was torn. Half of me felt horrible for worrying them, but the other half was quietly happy they cared enough to check in on me.
おい長倉君、その辺にしておいた方がいいんじゃないか。杯を持つ手が危なっかしいぞ。
平気だって。俺がこの程度で酔っ払うわけねえだろ。しかし近藤さん、あんたいつから二人になったんだ。双子の兄弟がいるなんて話聞いてねえが。
いや、見ての通り俺は一人しかいないな。はあ、完全に酔ってしまっているようだな。
俺は酔ってなんかいねえって。ほら見ての通りまるっきりのシラフ。
He didn't even get to finish his sentence before his eyes rolled back in his head. He toppled over, unconscious, before he reached the floor. The room was filled with soft snoring.
やれやれ。てめえの限界もわきまえずに飲むところは相変わらずだな。
どうする雪村君、内定の続きもあるだろうし、我々はそろそろ退散した方がいいかね。
What should I say? Beep boop boop. Will you be going back with everyone, Harada?
いや、俺はもう少し飲んでいくつもりだが、どうしてだ？
Oh, it's nothing. Blush, blush, blush.
では我々は先に帰ることにしよう。長倉君ももう限界のようだし。
あーくっそ重てえな。とっとと起きてくれって新八さん、面倒ばっかかけやがって。
He grumbled loudly, but still shifted his shoulder under his friend to hold him up as they exited the room.
では原田君、後のことはよろしく頼んだぞ。トシには伝えておくから、音源のことは気にせんでも平気だ。
ああ、頼んだぜ。そんじゃまた後でな。
Kondo and Heisuke helped Nagakura out the door, and I found myself left alone with Harada. He settled back into his seat and reached for one of the bottles of sake. Oh, would you like me to pour that for you?
いいのか？じゃ、せっかくだから。
I carefully tipped the bottle over his cup and poured a small amount in. I could feel his gaze on me the whole time. Not once did it waver, nor did he look away. He seemed to be studying me.
お前を元気づけるつもりだったのに、かえって面倒かけちまったみたいで、すまねえな。
Oh, no, not at all. I know I'm on a mission, so I shouldn't be thinking this way, but it's been fun. The concerned expression on his face melted into relief. Finally, he took a sip from the cup he'd been holding.
そっか、それならいいんだが、一人でこんなところに詰めてたら心細いんじゃねえかってみんな心配してたからな。
Does that mean, were you worried too? He glanced at me, emotions flashing across his face. Was that a touch of embarrassment I saw? After pausing to drink his sake again, he narrowed his eyes.
ああ、そりゃな。素人の女をこんな場所に放り込んで平気な顔してられるほど鬼でもねえし、なるべく嫌な思いはさせたくねえしな。
Oh, is that why you're staying behind here right now? You're worried? He didn't answer right away. Instead, he stared down at his sake cup, the liquid in it rippling as he sat deep in thought. He seemed to be deliberating about something.
まあ、それだけじゃねえんだけどな。
What do you mean? He looked up at me and then took a second look, his attention caught on something. In the space of a breath, he'd leaned in close, his face taking up my entire range of vision.
じっとしてろ。
Huh? Suddenly, Harada's hands were cradling my face, their touch gentle, though I could feel the strength they contained. His unblinking gaze was directed straight at me. I was so stunned, the only thing my mind could do was catch on details. The smooth slope of the bridge of his nose, how his eyes were slightly red-rimmed from drinking, the fact that little puffs of warm air caressed my cheek from his lips being so near. What was going on? He was suddenly really close. I forgot how to use my voice, my thoughts still trying to catch up to what was happening. I could only gape in disbelief. He didn't appear to notice. His eyes drifted to my mouth and lingered there. His stare unnerved me so much I was afraid to breathe. Air shuddered into my lungs once, and I held it. A thumb slowly slid across my cheek and jaw to gently brush against the edge of my lips. Exclamation point! Sorry. My eyes flew shut. I braced myself.
口紅ちょっとはみ出てるぜ。さっき物食ったせいでずれたのかな。
Tease! The pad of his thumb carefully wiped at my lips. Lipstick? When nothing else happened, I hesitantly opened my eyes.
なんだ？何かされると思ったのか？
His lips twitched into a grin, his shoulders shaking as if he was holding back a laugh. Oh, no. So my lipstick was smeared somehow, and he was just fixing it for me. My face flamed. What in the world had I been doing? The whole time I was serving you, my makeup had been a mess. I'm so embarrassed.
何言ってんだよ。別に恥ずかしがることでもねえだろう。海線山線の商売女ですって顔してるよりや、そんくらい初々しい方が可愛げがあっていいと思うぜ。
You really think so?
ああ、少なくとも俺はそう思ってる。
When he gazed at me with such a heated look in his eye and a tender smile, a particular spot deep within my heart threatened to melt. At least, that was how he looked to me. I knew I was imagining more than what was really there. He'd moved to fix my makeup and nothing else, because I was sure he thought of me as a younger sister. I had to... you fixed the smear, right? Then I should... I wrenched my eyes away from his penetrating stare and made up to get to leave.
いや、待ってくれ。あともう少しだけこのままでいさせてくれねえか。
He didn't release his hold on my chin, his cool fingers burning imprints in my skin. The look he gave me was hooded and incredibly warm, emotion flickering in his eyes that was likely a result of the alcohol. Even though I knew that, my heart refused to calm down. Instead, it thundered at a frantic pace. You want to stay? Why? He looked at me almost as if he was afraid to glance away. His voice was low and rough when he answered.
次はいつこの格好をさせてやれるかわからねえからな。目に焼き付けときてんだ。... My face felt like it was on fire, and I couldn't seem to control the rapid beating of my heart. His unblinking eyes were on mine, and I found I wasn't able to bear their intensity, so I had to look down. My whole world seemed to narrow to simply Harada, here, with me. My blood pounded, and I felt hot, but strangely I didn't want to move. I slowly raised my eyes to look back at him. Out of nowhere... The sliding door was roughly shoved open, voices and footsteps quickly following. Ruining my moment.
ああ、間違いね。局長の近藤勇がさっきこの辺をうろうろしてやがったのを見たって。
A small group of ronin had stepped inside the room.
なんだてめえら。せっかくの楽しい時間に水を差した無粋な野郎どもだな。
Alright, weird takeaway here, but while I've got you and while we're looking at Harada right now, are his sleeves kind of like transparent? Because like you can see on his arm, the line of his arm kind of just goes right into the shading that's on his sleeve. That's like the highlighted shading. But I can't tell if that's like being able to see through the white or if that's just lazy shading with the light to make it look like that. You tell me. You guys tell me.
こいつの顔には見覚えがあるぞ。確か10番組組長の原田だ。
Hold on, sorry, something happened. Just keep staring at Harada. My computer's going crazy a little bit. That's what happens when you have 3 things set up with the same stream on it, basically. Alright, we're good. Sorry.
なんだ俺の名前を知ってて踏み込むとは相当の命知らずか。そういうやつは嫌いじゃねえが。
ほざけ槍も持ってねえてめえなんざ恐れるほどの相手じゃねえよ。
A rousing battle cry bellowed from the warriors, and they all charged Harada at once. He didn't appear concerned with the disadvantage for an instant, easily routing the group in only a few minutes.
残念ながら勇猛さに実力が追いついてねえみてえだな。戦いを挑むんなら相手と自分の力ぐらいは測れねえといけねえぜ。
くそ。
With much groaning and gritting of teeth, the defeated men pushed themselves to their feet. One of them angrily flung out his hand to point at Harada.
覚えてやがれ。豚書襲撃の時には刀でぶった切ってやるからな。
He spat on the ground and made to exit the room, but not before Harada tensed, his expression shuddering.
おい、ちょっと待て。豚書襲撃ってのは一体なんだ？
あ。
The man's face paled immediately, and he took a step backward.
詳しい話を聞かせてもらおうじゃねえか。てめえら、何を企んでやがる？
He took one step forward and another, until the warriors had nowhere to go. With a little persuasion, Harada convinced them to reveal their plot to attack the headquarters of the Shinsengumi. Apparently, that had been the reason why they'd been meeting night after night in Shimabara. With the information they obtained, the Shinsengumi was able to prevent the attack from even occurring, and the whole incident was resolved quietly. A few days later, I was out on rounds with the 10th Division when we passed by Shimabara. It made me think back on that night and everything that happened as a result.
あの晩はお手柄だったな。お前のおかげで老子どもの企みを暴くことができて感謝してるぜ。
No, I didn't do anything. I wouldn't have been able to get the information on my own if you hadn't stayed behind.
何言ってんだよ。そもそもお前が芸者として速やに詰めててくれたからこそうまくいったんだろう。
Our conversation continued on in that vein for some time until...
あ、原田さん、今日は寄ってってくれねえのかい？
たまにはうちの芸者も呼んでやってくださいよ。佐之助さんに会えねえってんで、どの娘も寂しがっちまって。
A couple men I assumed were barkers called out to Harada as we came near. Their friendly banter suggested they knew him fairly well. Sounds like you're really popular with the Geisha. They want you to go visit them. It was impressive, but instead of looking pleased, Harada appeared troubled.
参ったな。しばらく島原通いは控えようと思ってんだが。
どうしてです？もしかして誰かお気に入りの女でもできたんですかい？
そりゃあ大事だ。佐之助さんが女に惚れたなんて知ったら、泣く女がどれだけいるか。
Both of them were rattled by his statement. Clearly, he had never refused them before. Harada, is it true that you have a girl you're interested in? He glanced over at me, his gaze catching mine and holding it. He nodded.
つうかよ、あの時のお前の姿を思い出したら、そんじょそこらの女じゃ満足できねえんだよな。
What? Suddenly, he leaned over and wrapped his arms around my neck and shoulders in a loose embrace.
みんな、すまねえな。俺は今、こいつに夢中だからよ。女遊びなんてする気になれねえんだ。
Are they going the route they think they're going? Because, my character is just as a dude right now. The men looked stunned. All they could do for a few moments was stand there, blinking, while they processed his declaration. Finally...
そうですかい。まあ、武士のたしなみにそういうのがあるっていうのは聞いたことはありますが。
そりゃあ、そういうご趣味があるんなら、 島原に用なんてないでしょうな。
I guess it works. It was clear they were puzzled. They continued speaking in low voices to each other, nodding in agreement.
なんだ反応がおかしくねえか。なんだよその怪物を見るみてえな目は。
Well, I'm dressed as a man right now.
あ
He didn't even know. That's even better. Understanding dawned, and with it, creeping horror.
いや誤解だ。俺は別に男が好きなわけじゃなくてな。
Flustered and stuttering, Harada began desperately babbling excuses.
新選組ってのは男女体だって聞きますからね。
こりゃ佐之助さんに惚れてる女たちも悲しんでいいのか呆れりゃいいのか。
Or they're Fujoshi, and they're okay with it.
だから違うっつってんじゃねえか。もっともらしくうなずき合ってんじゃねえ。
There was no way for him to stop people from talking, of course, so rumors spread like wildfire. Soon everyone in Shimabara was convinced, at least for a while, that Harada was in love with a man. Hey, baby. I'm okay with this. In fact, I'd be okay with this game if the main character was a dude, but, you know, that's just my tastes. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Harada Memories of Love 2. April 1867. Ever since the demons attacked Nishihongwanji Temple and told the protagonist her father had turned his back on the shogunate, she has struggled with despair. One day, Harada takes her out into the city, where she finds Princess Sun waiting for her at a tea house. Whoa!
この腹はな、そんじょそこらの腹じゃねえ。刃物の味を知ってんだぜ。
Usually the world of the Shinsengumi is a savage, dangerous one, but that night they were enjoying themselves. In fact, they were enjoying themselves a great deal. Perhaps, I thought, it was by letting themselves off the leash every so often that they could return to their normal lives. That ability to turn one's emotions on and off and to release what had been held back was still a skill I had yet to master. Even in the midst of all the drinking and laughter of the party, I couldn't get my mind off what had happened. October 1866. Harada had received a large bounty payment for arresting a criminal who had defaced the notice board several nights running. He declared he would take the other captains to dinner with the money, and so we'd made the short trip to Shimabara. Although our relationship had been somewhat frosty to begin with, things had improved since then, albeit only slightly. To wit, during the arrest, Harada had seen a girl who had looked exactly like me. And yet, not a man among the Shinsengumi had doubted me. I was happy, of course, that they trusted me, but the whole event had left me with a sense of unease that refused to dissipate. My father's whereabouts were still unknown, and the Shinsengumi had made new enemies in the form of several men who called themselves demons. April 1867. Spring had come, apparently unconcerned with the inner turmoil I was experiencing. But on that day, I would catch a glimpse of his kindness. Memories of Love, Part 2. Sorry, I just got the song Memories, or I don't know, the Final Fantasy IX ending song, the English version. It's a good song, both versions. It's about the only thing I like from Final Fantasy IX. Shots fired! Phew! I paused to wipe the sweat off my forehead and took a moment to survey the hallway I had just finished mopping. It was nice to have more space, but it had made cleaning the headquarters that much harder.
雪村君、一体何をしてるんだね。
Oh, hello! Sitting in my room is so boring, so I thought I'd come out here and clean the hallway.
いや、大使でもない君にそんなことをさせるのは。
It's fine, really. You've been taking care of me for months now, but I haven't done anything for you. Kondo smiled, his kind eyes crinkling at the corners. Then he seemed to remember something, and his expression turned serious.
そういえば、松本先生のつてで行動さんについて調べてもらっているんだが。
Oh, good! Has he found anything yet? Or found anything out?
砂漠側の乱暴医関係は全て調べてみたということだが、それらしい人物の情報は得られなかったそうだ。幕府側のつてをたどってみても行方がつかめないということは。
Kondo left the words hanging in the air, and his face looked as though he'd tasted something unpleasant. I thought back on what Dr. Matsumoto had told me. According to him, my father had been spending time with the radical nationalists. It seemed that was what Kondo was implying as well. He seemed to notice my expression had darkened and began to speak again.
まあ、仮に尊攘派についてしまったとしても、行動さんの内心がどうであるかはわからんからな。もしかすると、老子たちに弱みを握られて脅されているだけという可能性もあるし、それに彼の羅刹に関する知識は我々にとっても有用だ。何としても探し出さねばならんと思っているよ。もちろん彼の命を奪う目的ではなくね。
He sounded honest, but it wasn't that easy to simply forget my concerns. I still have a lot of cleaning to do. Sorry. I couldn't bear to stay there and talk about my father, so I excused myself and left. Hey, it's a Saito
ち
too.
ょうどいいところに来た。お前にちょっと聞きてえことがあるんだが。
Oh? What is it?
お前、おせんとかいう女を知ってるか？斎藤はお前の知り合いだって言ってるんだが。
Oh, yes. I met her the other day while we were out on patrol.
そっか。あ、いや、さっき帰りがけにその女に声をかけられたんだけどよ。
This is
お前
awkward
に話してえ
because
ことがあ
we
る。
were just over with Sen, helping me with Shimabara, so he knows Sen, so I'm not sure how they figured this to fit in, but we'll go with it.
とりあえず、お前を一人で外に出すわけにはいかないから、ちょっとそこで待っててくれ。この大服脱いでこねえとな。
今夜巡察に出る予定があるから、俺はこれで失礼する。
Oh, okay. They nodded to one another and then headed off in different directions. What did Sen want to talk about with me? Sorry, what did Sen want to talk with me about, I wondered. I moved in my chair, so I had to adjust things. In a few moments, Harada returned and we left the compound and entered Kyoto. Chizuru! I turned to see her waving at me from a short distance away. Hi, Sen. Long time no see.
さっき
Ah! Pushed a button. Pushed a button with my phone. Really? I'd been under the impression that she had something to discuss. But from the way she was talking, it sounded as though she had only inquired as to my condition. I looked at Harada, who coughed quietly and looked away.
お前と話してえことがあるって言ってたからな。
His voice was a low mumble. I wasn't sure if Sen had heard him or not.
ねえ、よかったらあそこの茶店でお話ししない？
It was the tea house we'd visited together before. She was correct about the quality of the odango, but I glanced up at Harada.
せっかくだから二人で話してきたらどうだ？女同士積もる話もあるだろう。俺は離れたところで茶でもすすってるからよ。
Thanks. Then I think I will take you up on your offer, Sen.
さあ、行きましょう。
Sen and I made our way into the tea house as Harada wandered off.
最近どう？男女体に女の子が一人じゃ大変でしょ。困ったことがあったらいつでも言ってね。あなたとは初めて会った気がしないの。
Oh, well, I had only seen her a handful of times since coming to Kyoto, but clearly we had not known one another for a long time. Had she met the girl who Harada saw? The one who looked just like me? Actually, I wanted to ask you, how did you know I was a girl the first time we met?
それはそりゃ見ればわかるに決まってるじゃない。女同士だもの。
Oh, really? Huh. I didn't really get it, but then again, it wasn't like I'd been in a situation where identifying secret women was required.
それより いろいろ聞きたいことがあるの。
Oops. I keep cutting her off. Sorry, girl. I think I told you that last time, but as I began to talk, I felt myself begin to open up to her. Perhaps that had been her intent. If I started the conversation in familiar territory, it would be easier for me to move on to other things. It was nice to talk to another woman my age.
あなた方新選組の評判って今日では散々だけど、中にはいい人もいるみたいね。
Huh? She nodded pointedly toward Harada, who we could see standing a short distance away. He was leaning against a post, his sharp eyes constantly surveying the area. There was something almost graceful about his profile. I couldn't look away. Sen leaned over and whispered in my ear.
本当はあなたに会わせてもらえないんじゃないかって思ってたんだけど、あなたと知り合いだって言ったら、あの人がね、あいつ落ち込んでるみたいだから、少しでも気持ちが明るくなるように楽しい話をしてあげてくれって。
Really? Had he really done all that? If so, he was much more perceptive than I'd given him credit for. And the idea that he had done it just for me made me feel warm inside.
どうした？話はもう終わったのか？
He seemed to have noticed we were looking at him. Yes. I scrambled to my feet.
それじゃ私はこの後用事があるからもう行くね。
Okay, thanks for everything.
お礼を言われるようなことなんてしてないわよ。そちらの方もありがとうございました。それじゃあまた。
With a final polite bow to either of us, she turned and walked off with dainty, ladylike steps. I still didn't actually know anything about Sen, but talking with her had left me feeling a great deal better.
そんじゃ話も済んだみてえだし、豚舎に戻るか。
Sure.
もうすぐ夕飯か。時間が経つのは早いもんだな。多分手が足りてねえと思うから支度を手伝ってやってくれるか。雑用ばっか押し付けちまって悪いが。
He started off toward his room. Oh, wait! I ran after him.
お、どうした？
Oh, there's not too much more of these. Okay, sorry. Thanks for taking me out to talk to Sen today. But did I really look that unhappy?
Huh?
She told me what you said. That you asked her to cheer me up since I looked like I was sad. If I didn't know better, I would have sworn Harada blushed.
あの嬢ちゃん喋っちまったのか。
I'm sorry if I was worrying you. I thought I was hiding it pretty well. I looked down at the floor, embarrassed, but then I felt one of his hands pat the top of my head.
バカだな。隠しきれるはずねえだろ。お前が無理してんのなんて一目見りゃ分かっちまうんだよ。
Is that because I'm still just a kid?
なあ、少なくとも大人じゃねえわな。
He'd said it as a joke, but it still wasn't the answer I'd hoped for.
なんだよ、落ち込んでんのか？ガキっぽいってのは悪口でもなんでもねえよ。それに女ってのはお前くらい隙がある方が可愛げがあっていいと思うぜ。
I'm not sure how I feel about that. He let out a laugh.
背伸びしたってしょうがねえだろうが。そういうところがガキだって言うんだよ。
He patted me softly on the head, then stepped into his room and shut the door. Later that night, I sat on the balcony and gazed up at the moon as I thought back over what had happened that day. Harada had definitely improved my mood. There was still a great deal for me to worry about, but sulking and self-pity would get me nowhere. I was useless as any kind of soldier, but I could still listen to them and help them in other ways, just as Harada had done for me. According to my strategy guide of Great Justice, there aren't any more Shinsengumi adventure parts, but there are many more Harada memories of love. So let's see if I can actually access them. Ah, I can. Okay, but I'll read a little summaries in between. April 1867. The protagonist is attacked in the evening by a bloodthirsty fury who has been consumed by madness. She is injured in the struggle. The incident reveals to Ito that Saanen is not dead, and ultimately leads to the departure of Ito and his men, Saito, and Todo from the Shinsengumi. July 1867. Sen, who has revealed herself to actually be Princess Sen, visits the Shinsengumi and reveals she is a demon. She hopes to protect the protagonist and has come to take her somewhere safe. The protagonist considers her offer, but ultimately decides to stay with the Shinsengumi. Unfortunately, Kazuma's attacks grow worse. August 1867. After training, Harada shares with the protagonist the story behind his attempt at suicide, and how that experience has motivated him to never be in that position again. With the conversation finished, they head into the city to do some shopping. That's just prime for romance! This is why I tried to commit suicide, and now let's go shopping.
間違いなく正義だ。お前がいてくれたから、俺たちは普段の何倍も力が出たんだ。
His voice was calm and reassuring. The demons had only come because of me. But even so, I could see no indication in Harada's face that he held me responsible. Even though his kindness comforted me, in a dark corner of my heart, I wondered how far it would go. What if fighting broke out in the city? What if some of the captains met death one way or another? If the demons attacked them, would he be willing... If the demons attacked then, would he be so willing to avoid ascribing blame? Man, the writing in this sometimes is not... It's not bad, but it's a little awkward to read sometimes. July 1867. I'm gonna go and summarize everything I just read. 3 months had passed since the departure of Ito and his men. Sen had come to the Shinsengumi headquarters at Nishi Hongwanji Temple to warn us. Since I was a demon, Kazama and the other demons would be coming after me. Staying would only put the Shinsengumi in greater danger, she said. I should leave. I couldn't bring myself to do that. Sen seemed concerned, but she agreed to allow me to do as I pleased. Just as she had predicted, Kazama... Is it Kazama? Kazama? I'm going to say Kazama. Kazama and his cohorts attacked us. After the ensuing battle, the Shinsengumi was expelled from Nishi Hongwanji and moved to Fudodo. August 1867. It didn't take long for me to begin familiarizing myself with the new headquarters. Memories of Love. Harada, Part 3. August 1867. Harada had been kind enough to allow me to watch some of the warriors train.
そんじゃ次は相掛かり稽古だ。相手を殺すつもりで全力でやれよ。
His voice echoed through the dojo. All of the men were holding habiki. It gave their training an added intensity, far more than would have been there. Wow. Far more than would have been there with a bamboo or wooden sword.
なんだ？返し技のコツがわからねえって？そりゃ相手の刀だけ見てるからだよ。どんなやつでも打ち込んでくる直前には必ず前触れがあるもんだ。刀じゃなくて相手の体全体を見るっつうのかな。
He had an answer and advice for every man who came to him with a question. More importantly, though, his answers seemed to help. The men with him were visibly improving.
よし。そんじゃ今日の稽古はここまでだ。
They set to work putting away their equipment as Harada made his way over to me, wiping sweat from his forehead with the back of his hand. Good job! Here's your towel.
の、ありがとよ。
He took the towel from me with a smile and started mopping sweat off his face and neck. You're a really good teacher.
そうか？あいつらもそう思ってくれてりゃいいんだが。
I don't really know anything about fighting, but it was easy even for me to understand what you were talking about. It feels kind of weird, though.
不思議って何がだよ。
Oh, well, nothing. Never mind.
なんだよ。言いかけてやめられたら気になるじゃねえか。言えよ。
I regretted saying anything, but he had me cornered. Well, when we went to Shimabara, you said that you tried to kill yourself. I just don't see how the person I know could have done something like that. He was observant, kind, personable. In every meaningful way, he seemed to be a stable adult. Undoubtedly, he'd had his reasons, but I couldn't reconcile the man I knew with someone who would have done that. Harada stopped wiping and looked up at the ceiling.
だからこそだよ。
What?
若い頃、短気を起こしてバカやって数えきれねえぐらいつまずいて転んだからこそわかるんだ。人ってのはどんな時に失敗するのか、どんなことをすると取り返しのつかねえことになっちまうのかをな。くだらない喧嘩で疎遠になっちまった相手もいるし、しょうもねえことで大事な友達と絶交したこともある。家族とも縁が切れちまったし、帰る場所があるわけでもね。だからもう似たような失敗は繰り返したくねえんだ。
He couldn't hide the regret in his voice. I understood, though. Harada had been hurt many times by his own mistakes and misjudgments, but he'd learned from them. That was how he'd become the man he was.
これからどうする？せっかくだから外に出てみるか。
What? Really? Can I?
ああ、お前が俺たちの目を盗んで逃げ出したりするはずねえってことはみんなもう分かってるだろうしな。
On our way to the gate, we spotted Yamazaki.
お、山崎、どうしたんだ？これからどこかに出かけんのか？
夕食に使う魚と野菜の一部が傷んでいたので買いに行くところです。夏場は食料が腐りやすくて困りますね。
それなら俺がこれからこいつと一緒に買いに行ってやるよ。が、
しかし。
He looked around surreptitiously. Man, that is a word you don't see very often. He looked around surreptitiously before fixing Harada with a penetrating stare.
巡察以外で彼女を外に連れ出してしまってもいいのですか？副長の許可は得ているのでしょうか？
まあいいじゃねえか。細かいことは気にすんなよ。今日の炊事当番はこいつなんだし、ちょうどいいだろう。
Yamazaki had no further arguments that Harada was willing to listen to, so we went out. So out we went. The market was bustling with crowds out to get their own dinner ingredients.
山崎のやつは野菜と魚が足りねえって言ってたよな。そこの株が安そうだし買っていくか。
Hold on. I stopped his hand midway to the turnip and picked through the bin until I found the best, or at least the least bruised, specimens. Yes, these should be good. Let's get them. Harada laughed.
大した目利きだな。お前、いい嫁さんになるぜ、きっと。
Really? It took us another hour or so to gather the rest of the ingredients we needed.
しかしいっぱい買い込んだな。こんだけありゃ食い盛りの大使どもも満足してくれるかな。
Yeah.
お前の作る飯はうまいからな。どんなのができるか今から楽しみだぜ。
Then suddenly he stopped. Are you okay? What's wrong?
いや、こんな言い方しちまうとお前のことを飯炊き女扱いしてるみてえだなって思ってよ。本当なら好きな男以外に手料理なんて振る舞いたくねえと思うが、すまねえな。
Oh no, it's okay. I mean, I Chihuahua. I like eating with other people. I really like eating with all the guys. It's fun. I'm happy to put in the work. Back in Edo, I made food all the time, but the only people who ate it were me and my father. Harada relaxed visibly and smiled.
そっか。そう言ってくれると安心するぜ。俺も賑やかな食事は好きだぜ。同じ飯なのに不思議と一人で食うよりうまい気がするよな。
Yes! So enthusiastic. We were still talking when... ... exclamation point! I stopped. Walking toward us was a face I recognized. Oh, he said, oh, my bad. Heisuke's eyes went wide as he recognized us, and he stopped in his tracks. I opened my mouth to say something to him, but the Shinsengumi was forbidden to fraternize with the guardians of the Imperial Tomb, and that included Heisuke. For a long moment we looked at one another, Heisuke's mouth hanging open as if he were about to speak. But finally he shut it, set his jaw, and turned sharply to disappear off into the crowd. I had assumed we would cross paths with him eventually, though Kyoto was a large city. We traveled in similar circles, but what I hadn't considered was how much it would hurt to see him and be forced to turn away. One look at Harada's face told me that he felt the same. He looked smaller. Are you okay? When he spoke, I wasn't sure if it was to me or to himself.
どんなもんでもいずれ壊れちまうもんなのかな。
What?
何が起こってもどんな時でも絶対に壊れねえ関係なんて世の中には存在しねえのかな。
There was a deep, resigned sadness to his words that startled me, but what he meant was clear. After what he'd told me in the dojo, I felt I understood what he meant all too well. He had made many mistakes in his life and driven people he'd cared for away. But despite all his work, Heisuke, whom he'd loved like a brother, had still left. Given the sort of man he was, though, he refused to show how much that had hurt him. At least he had until now. I felt guilty just looking at him, as if I should say something, anything. But I couldn't find the words.
帰るか。
His voice was still full of melancholy darkness. Our walk back was nearly silent.
悪かったな。せっかくの外出だってのに暗い気分にさせちまって。そんじゃ俺部屋に戻ってるからよ。大使どもの飯の支度頼んだぞ。
He sounded like he always did, but I knew that even if he had managed to hide his grief again, it wasn't gone by any stretch. Harada... I looked straight at him. You can do it. You can find a bond that'll survive anything. His eyes widened. Maybe you won't be able to find it the way Saito and Heisuke did, but you haven't really changed. You're all doing what you think you have to do. I knew there was an excellent chance I was trying to lecture him on something I knew nothing about. I wasn't one of them after all. But I had to say something. So, his expression shifted from surprise to realization, and then to something else. When he spoke, his voice was filled with emotion.
ありがとうよ。
If my words could help ease his pain, even only a little, then that was all I needed. I watched him walk off, shoulders a little straighter, and let out a relieved sigh. Well, that's it. Did we get a CG with that one? I don't even think we got an extra, like a fun art. Bip, bop, bip, bop, bip. November 1867, in an attempt to neutralize Ito and his followers, the Shinsengumi lures the guardians of the Imperial Tomb to the Aburano Koji, but are themselves surrounded by Satsuma troops under the command of Amagiri and Shiranui. Kazuma takes this opportunity to attack the headquarters of the Shinsengumi himself. November 1867, it is announced publicly that Todo has died when he has actually become a fury. Saito returns to the Shinsengumi but stays at the Tenma Inn instead of at the Shinsengumi compound. To make matters worse, the Imperial Court orders the restoration of Imperial rule. Wait, what? Why are his things unlocked? I don't have him. Alright, well we're gonna skip his blip. We're gonna skip his blip. 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 There's our boy. December 1867. Tempers run high after Kondo is shot. Harada suggests to the protagonist that she leave the Shinsengumi, but before she can decide, the Satsuma attack. The Shinsengumi takes part in the Battle of Toba-Fushimi. Memories of love. December 1867. The Shinsengumi prepare to ring in the new year at the Fushimi magistrate's office, but the protagonist is worried about the impending war. Noticing her unease, Harada invites her to drink with him. Let's do it. Let's do it.
あいつら切り合いのためだけに存在してるのか、それ以外には価値がないってのか。
Give the water of life to a human on the edge of death to bring them back as fury so they can fight again. To Harada, it seemed like toying with a man's life. The Furies had weighed on his heart for a long time, and now it was as if a dam had broken. His eyes were filled with an agony I'd never seen before. I could see his heart being pulled in two directions, but there was nothing I could say. November 1867. After Ito was assassinated, fighting broke out at Aburano Koji. During the fight, Heisuke was mortally wounded and only survived by drinking the water of life. As the Shinsengumi shuddered and cracked, the world outside was changing as well. When the Satsuma got wind of the restoration of imperial rule, they streamed into Kyoto en masse. In preparation for an attack, the Shinsengumi moved their headquarters to the Fushimi magistrate's office and increased the number of guards. December 1867. Kondo was shot and injured while traveling, and Okita's illness was growing worse, so it was decided that they would both be sent to Edo to recover. As New Year's Eve fell, the atmosphere in the Shinsengumi headquarters had grown especially tense. Memories of Love, Part 4. I think I'm just going to plow through all the Memories of Love tonight. Just because next week I want to play something else. Everyone in the Fushimi magistrate's office felt as if they'd been stretched almost to the breaking point. We all knew battle could break out at any moment. They were prepared, of course, but days of restless waiting were taking their toll. The looming specter of war was bad enough, but there was more. What if the demons appeared again while our troops were out fighting the rebels? Kazuma, Amagiri, and Shiranui were fighting alongside the Satsuma and Choshu, although their exact relationship was unknown. There was an excellent chance they might appear on the battlefield to oppose us. In any event, my remaining would only put the Shinsengumi in more danger. What was I going to do? I was deep in thought when Harada appeared.
よう、どうしたんだそんな顔して。
Oh, hello.
面倒なことになっちまったな。せっかくの大晦日だってのに。大掃除もできねえまま、豚書出てくる羽目になっちまったし。
His tone was casual, but I couldn't bring myself to respond in kind.
なんだ？しょぼくれた顔して。心配事でもあんのか？あ、不安になるなっていう方が無理か。これから戦が始まっちまうかもしれねえんだもんな。だけどよ。まだ負けるって決まったわけじゃねえだろ。落ち込んだ顔すんなって。
He patted me reassuringly on the shoulder and smiled. I turned away. I couldn't look him in the eye. I'm going to make some tea for the commander. He's been working in his room for a really long time. Without waiting for an answer, I turned and walked off. Later that night, I couldn't sleep and found myself loitering in the main hall.
Yo.
Oh.
悪いが、この後俺に付き合ってくれねえか。もう土方さんも寝ちまってるし、茶を入れに行く必要もねえだろ。いいから付き合え。
He seemed to have seen through my earlier excuse. I sighed. So, what do you want to do?
とっておきの酒だ。シンパチや平介には内緒だぞ。
Sake? But There wasn't anything preventing me from drinking with him, but did I want to? Hey, yeah, I want to. Alright, I guess I'll have one drink.
なんだ、意外と思い切りがいいんだな。
I might not be able to handle it very well, though. I've never had sake before.
大丈夫だって。酔っ払っちまっても俺が介抱してやるよ。
With that, he poured me a cup of sake. Thanks. I nervously lifted the cup to my lips. It smelled sweet, but it didn't taste that way. The moment it touched my tongue, my entire mouth rebelled, and it felt uncomfortably warm as it trickled down my throat.
おいおい、大丈夫か？一気に飲んじまったら回るのが早いぞ。一口ずつゆっくりにしとけ。
True story, don't shoot sake. Sip it. Okay. I did as he suggested.
どうだ？初めての酒の感想はうまいか？その顔はあんまりうまくねえんだな。ま、最初はそんなもんか。
I thought it would taste better. Will I like it more if I drink a lot?
酒自体の味ってよりは飲んでる時の空気が好きで飲んでるって感じだな。
What do you mean?
酔うと普段は聞けねえような本音が聞けたりもするからよ。誰かと打ち解け合うには酒を酌み交わすのが一番だな。
I have a friend who tells people they have beautiful souls when she gets pretty drunk. It's great. Really?
ああ、シンパチや平介ともこうやって何度も酒飲んで仲良くなったようなもんだしな。
For a few silent moments, Harada drank sake as I watched. But eventually he looked up at me and spoke.
で、昼間妙に落ち込んだ顔してたのはどうしてだ？
He had probably been trying to ask me the same question earlier when I used Hijikata's tea as an excuse to leave. I didn't want to answer.
こう見えても俺、口は家庭法だからよ。お前の悩みを誰かに言いふらしたりはしねえぜ。それとも俺なんかに相談してもろくな答えが返ってこねえって思ってんのか？
No, it's not that. Just,
じゃあ話してみろよ。誰かに打ち明ければ楽になることだってあるだろう。
I'd intended to keep my thoughts to myself, but his voice was so kind. Perhaps it would help to talk. Just a little. Do you think it's all right for me to stay here? There it was.
ここにいてもいいかってのは？
Well, I mean, we could be at war tomorrow. And if the demons show up again while we're at war, is it really okay for me to be here? They'd be coming for me. Harada gave a dry laugh.
しのぎきれるに決まってるだろうって答えられりゃかっこいいんだがな。実際連中の侵入を何度も許しちまってる以上でかい口は叩けねえわな。
Harada sighed. He was too honest to lie to me and say everything was going to be all right.
男にとって一度守るって決めたもんを途中で放り出すことほど情けねえことはねえからな。確かにお前がここにいねえ方が楽に戦えるかもしれねえ。ただもともとお前を無理やり監禁してたのは俺たちの方だろう。そんな相手を守りきれなくなったから追い出すなんてみっともなくてしょうがねえ。その程度の意地も張れねえほど追い詰められてるなんて思いたくねえんだよ。俺も土方さんも他の連中もな。
I wasn't sure what to say, so I looked down at the floor by my feet. So it's just your duty to the Shinsengumi then? My heart felt heavy. He leaned back and let out a long, slow breath.
どうかな。
I couldn't see his eyes, but I could hear an uncharacteristic uncertainty in his voice. Harada had been with Kondo and Hijikata since Edo, and they were good men. I knew he wanted to trust them. But now, after what had happened to Heisuke and the Fury Corps, was he beginning to wonder just how much he could believe in the Shinsengumi?
何にせよ、鬼どもからお前を守ってやるってのは変わらねえからな。どんな事情があろうと、嫌がる女を無理やり連れ去ろうとするってのは褒められることじゃねえし、それはそのことに関してだけは胸を張れると思ってるぜ。
His voice now didn't have the same flat dullness of a few moments before. It seemed brighter. That small change was enough for me. As a reminder of his kindness was all that was needed to allay my fears. I looked up at his face and felt the warmth of happiness fill my chest. And we're done with that one. We're flying through this. We can do it. Chapter 5, January 1868. After arriving in Edo via ship from Osaka, the Shinsengumi rest at the Kama Inn. After much deliberation, the protagonist decides to leave the Shinsengumi, but Harada stops her. Later, the Shinsengumi heads to Kofu Castle as the Kogyo Regulatory Company. And then, January 1868. The protagonist decides she must leave the Shinsengumi, but Harada stops her with a kiss. She can't forget about it and can't sleep. Then, after breakfast, Harada asks if she wants help with the dishes. Sure.
悪かったな。ぶしつけな真似しちまって。泣いてる女を黙らせる方法はこれしか知らねえんだ。
Ah, yeah. The moment his lips met mine, all thought evaporated. Fear of being turned away for what I was, despair at being unable to do anything. I had not felt that I was at the end of my rope, or I had felt that I was at the end of my rope. But when we kissed, the fear that had held my heart in an icy grip began to fade away. Then he pulled away and spoke, and my fears disappeared entirely. I don't know if a dude was like, oh, the only way I know how to get a girl from stop crying is to kiss her. My fears would still be there, but that's just me. January 1867. The final battle between the men loyal to the shogunate and the rebel forces had begun. Shiranui had attacked the Fushimi magistrate's office. I was nearly killed before Harada appeared to rescue me. Unfortunately, his battle against Shiranui did not go well. The shogunate's men were defeated in Kyoto and forced to retreat to Osaka Castle. The Shinsengumi returned to Edo and set themselves up at the Kama Inn. It had been around that time that I noticed Harada was avoiding me. That was bad enough, but Saanen had begun to visit me at night. It seemed that he wanted to use my demon blood in his research, the goal of which was to strengthen the Fury Corps. I refused. His research made me uncomfortable, and I didn't want to be party to turning anyone into a Fury. I'd hoped to speak with Harada about it, but days passed and no opportunity to do so presented itself. February 1868. After a great deal of thought, I made up my mind. My presence was causing undue difficulty for the Shinsengumi, so I would leave. But on my way out of the inn, Harada spotted me. Caught, I broke down, and all he could think of to do to calm me was a kiss. I was still reeling from it, even as I awoke the following morning. Had it meant anything? Memories of Love, Part 5. January 1868. I had spent the entire night tossing and turning, so when morning broke, I welcomed it. I would have something to do. As I sat at breakfast with the warriors, however, all I could think about was that night.
雪村君、雪村君、聞こえてますか?
Oh. I blinked and turned to look at him. Sorry, I guess I drifted off there for a bit. Do you need something?
皆朝食が済んだようですから、前後片付けようと思いまして。もし具合が悪いのなら、俺が一人で運びますが。
Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm not sick or anything.
そうか？元気ねえみてえだけど。何か悩みでもあんのか？俺でよかったら相談に乗るぜ。
まあ先行きが見えねえからな。あれこれ不安になっちまうのも無理はねえだろ。近藤さんはまだ起き上がれねえみてえだし、土方さんも頓死を開けてばっかだし、悩むなって方が無理だ。
His tone wasn't any different than usual. Shimada shrugged and nodded.
確かに今の状況では気落ちしてしまうのも無理からぬことと思います。ですが副長は薩長との再戦の機会を得るため、連日幕府の重鎮の方と面談を重ねてらっしゃいます。あの方は勝算なしに戦いを挑んだりはしません。だから元気を出してください、雪村君。
Okay, thanks. I started to clear the dishes the men had left behind and snuck a look in Harada's direction. At the same moment, he casually glanced toward me and our eyes met.
どうした？俺の顔に何かついてるか？
Huh? Oh.
もしかして禅を片付けんのを手伝ってくれってのか？
What was I going to say? Will you? Yes, actually. Would you mind?
よし、わかった。そんじゃあそれ貸せ。持ってやるから。
As he spoke, Harada reached for the tray I was holding, but as he did, our fingers touched. ... Exclamation point! I snatched my hand back before I realized what I was doing, and the tray crashed to the floor.
おいおい、いきなり手離すなって危ねえじゃねえか。
I'm sorry.
なんだよ、佐野。彼女に何か変なことでもしたんじゃないの？
What? My heart began to pound. What would Harada say? I swallowed.
バカなこと言ってんじゃねえ。俺が何するってんだよ。
Lame. There was nothing forced in his tone, almost as if nothing had happened.
割れてる皿はねえよな。じゃあ、とっとと片付けちまうか。
Okay. He picked up the plates and bowls from the floor and set them back on the tray. There was nothing agitated about him, and I was beginning to wonder if he didn't actually understand why I dropped the tray. I felt a sharp pain in my chest.
落とした皿はこれで全部だな。これ勝手場に置いときゃいいのか？
Oh, yes, please.
佐野、俺のもついでに片付けといてくれ。俺も腹がいっぱいで動けなくてよ。
甘えんじゃねえよ。てめえの膳くらいてめえで片付けろ。腹ごなしにはちょうどいいだろうが。
なんだよ、冷てえやつだな。一つ運ぶのも二つ運ぶのも手間は変わらねえだろうが。
手間は変わらねえが重いんだよ。どうして俺がてめえの使った膳を運ばなきゃならねえんだ。
He picked up the other trays, pointedly ignoring Nagakura's, and walked out into the kitchen. We had kissed only the night before, but there was nothing in Harada's voice or actions that suggested anything out of the ordinary had happened. Had he forgotten what he'd done? Then again, he had only kissed me to shock me into some sort of normalcy. There had been no greater meaning to it, no feelings. It would be foolish of me to think anything else would come from it. No point in getting my hopes up. But even knowing that it was all in my head did little to lessen the pain in my heart. Later that night, I was having trouble sleeping. In a desperate attempt to distract myself, I decided to take a stroll in the yard. ... Exclamation point! I spotted a figure across the yard and swallowed. It was Sanan. I felt my blood run cold. Run away. I had to run away. If he saw me, no doubt he would pressure me again to assist in his experiments. I had turned around to tiptoe back to my room when...
君が何を言っているのか理解できないのですが、もう一度話してくださいますか、原田君。
When I heard his name, I froze. I turned around to look again.
ああ、何度でも言ってやるよ。あいつが羅刹隊に関わる必要なんてねえはずだ。これ以上あいつを困らせんのはやめてくれ。羅刹隊のことに関して口を出す気はなかったが、近頃のあんたの行動はどうも目に余るからな。
Harada's gaze was like cold fire. I'd never seen him like that, except perhaps in battle. There was something dangerous about his eyes. But Saanen seemed unconcerned.
君は今我々が置かれている状況を理解していると思いますが、新政府軍の持つ戦力は我々の想像をはるかに超えていました。今のままでは敗北は必至。勝利するためには羅刹隊を強化するしかありません。彼女の体に流れる鬼の血はその鍵となるはずです。
Harada didn't even blink.
三男さん、あんた自分が何を言ってるか分かってんのか。あいつは死を覚悟して入隊してきた大使じゃねえ。俺たちに巻き込まれただけのただの女じゃねえか。そんなあいつから血を抜き取って物みてえに扱って、そこまでして勝たなきゃならねえのかよ。
君は山崎君や井上さんのことを忘れてしまったんですか？他の大使たちが彼らのようになってしまってもいいと。
死んだ人間の話を持ち出すのは卑怯ってもんじゃねえか。それに俺はあんた自身の気持ちを聞いてるんだ。勝つためには何でもやる、利用できるもんは何でも利用する。その考えを否定するつもりはねえ。ただ女を犠牲にすることにあんたは何の疑問も持たねえのか。あいつはけなげに自分のできることを精一杯してるじゃねえか。そんなあいつをこれ以上追い詰めて苦しめてどうしようってんだよ。
Saanen said nothing for a moment, just turned and looked away.
彼女は鬼です。傷を負ったとてすぐに癒える体を持っている。それは君もその目でしかと確かめたはずですが。
三男さん、きちんと俺の目を見て話してくれねえか。たとえ鬼だろうと女は女だろう。俺たちが作り上げようとしてたのは、ずっと目指してきたものってのはこんなもんだったのか。
I wish Harada had more eyebrows.
新選組ってのはそこまで落ちぶれちまったのかよ。
He didn't answer. Harada had put his hand on the other man's shoulder, but now Saanen brushed it off, annoyed, and turned away.
戦うために生み出された羅刹は勝ち続けてこそ生きる価値がある。勝てなくなってしまえばもはや存在する理由すらない。新選組を離れても生きられる君には我々の気持ちなどわかりませんよ。
Saanen opened his mouth as if he was about to say something more, then closed it tight, turned, and left. For a moment, Harada simply stood there, alone. Then he let out a long, tired sigh, and I could see his shoulders slump.
俺だってあんたらの気持ちがわからねえわけじゃねえよ。
He scrubbed his hands through his hair in exasperation, then turned and began to walk toward me. ... Exclamation point! What was I going to do? If he caught me, he would know I'd heard everything. I began to look around frantically for a place to hide.
こっちこっち。
My head snapped around to see Heisuke gesturing rapidly for me to come over. I scuttled into the shadows and we hid. We let out a collective sigh of relief as he passed us and disappeared into the main building.
行ったみたいだな。
Thank you. He nodded, then sighed.
あのさ、三男さんのことごめんな。
What?
俺も言うつもりだったんだ。お前を羅刹隊に引き込もうとするのはやめてくれって。多分佐野さんが言わなかったら俺が代わりに言ってたと思う。
Thanks, buddy. Dot dot dot.
だからさ、お前がここにいちゃいけねえんじゃねえかなんて悩む必要はねえから。
Thanks. I felt some of the tension leave my shoulders and wondered why I hadn't noticed this before. Harada and Heisuke were both always looking out for me.
しかし佐野さんっていつもいいとこ持ってくよな。ほんとかなわねえよ。
He let out another bitter sigh.
二人とももう行ったみたいだし、お前も部屋に戻って休んだ方がいいんじゃないか。
Okay, thanks. Good night. I nodded to him and headed off toward my room. The whole way there, I couldn't get Harada's words out of my head. I kept hearing them. He'd said I was doing all I could to help them, and that even though I was a demon, I was still a woman. He'd told Sanan he didn't want him to cause me pain. It was a lot to take in. I had to remind myself, though, that Harada was a kind man. He would have said the same thing for anyone else in the same position. He'd known that Sanan was bothering me, and he couldn't let that stand. It was no use getting my hopes up. No matter how happy his words might make me feel, I was still a demon. One day he would fall in love with a human woman and live a happy human life. Still, as long as I was only daydreaming and kept my feelings locked away in my heart where no one would see them, what was the harm? Perhaps I could at least have that much. I held on to that thought and made my way back to my room. Oh man. We're getting to all the romance. March 1868. In order to protect the protagonist from the Fury research, Harada leaves the Shinsengumi along with Nagakura. The protagonist doesn't want to cause more trouble for them by being a demon and tries to leave Harada for that reason, but... April 1868. The protagonist decides to leave the Shinsengumi with Nagakura and Harada. Sometime later, after settling in, she goes on a walk with Harada where he tells her of his dream to live near the ocean.
お前がどう考えていようが、俺が吸い遂げてって思ってるのはお前なんだ。
Oh, we're at the clothing switch. Delightful. I had spent so many hours wishing to hear those very words, and now he had said them. There was nothing that could have made me happier. Now I could be a part of his dream. Just like a human woman, I could spend my life with the man I loved. The joy I felt at his words gave me courage, the courage to finally speak what was in my heart. I want to spend my life with you. Oh man, there's still 3 chapters. Alright, we got this. We got this. These are pretty short. We can do it. March 1868. The Shinsengumi had changed their name to the Koyo Regulatory Company and headed for Kofu Castle. Unfortunately, upon their arrival, they discovered the enemy had beat them to the castle and occupied it. To make matters worse, my father had appeared along with an army of new Furies that seemed to be undeterred by sunlight. Thanks to Shiranui's hatred of Furies, Harada and I were able to escape to Edo, but neither Kondo nor Hijikata returned to headquarters. Nagakura's frustration had been building for a long time, and being unable to discuss it with them only made things worse. When they did finally return, Harada and Nagakura spoke with them, and in the end, decided to leave the Shinsengumi. Harada had been unsure whether he would leave at first, but when Hijikata had said he would be unable to protect me from Sanan forever, his mind was made for him. If the only way to ensure my safety was to leave, then leave he would. Our lives were peaceful after leaving the Shinsengumi, far more than they had been for a long time. It seemed almost funny. I had dreaded what I thought would be an inevitable departure for the sake of the Shinsengumi, but when that departure came, it was joyful, not miserable, because Harada and I had left together. All of my worries had disappeared. It seemed that the future was bright. Except your father and the crazy Furies. Memories of Love, Part 6, in fancy Western clothing. March 1868. By then, we'd been staying at the house of the friend of Nagakura's for some time.
そろそろ飲み屋が開く頃か。羽賀さんのとこにでも行ってくっかな。ソノももちろん一緒に来るんだろ。
いや、今日は気が乗らねえし、やめとくぜ。昔馴染み同士の会話に割り込むのもなんだしな。
Nagakura frowned.
シャノ、最近付き合い悪いよな。もしかして女でもできたのか？
I felt my body tense up instinctively. Quietly, I laid a hand over my suddenly pounding heart. Harada glanced over at me before he spoke.
まあな、いるよ、最高の女が。
His voice was full of pride.
なんだって？適当に言ったつもりなのに本当だったのかよ。どんな女だ？
さあな。
なんだよ、隠すことねえだろ。やっぱあれか？俺に内緒でこっそり色町に通い詰めてたとか。それとも近所の可愛い女の子でも口説いたか？くっそー、美男は得だよな。
シンパチ、お前がモテねえのはどうしてか教えてやろうか。近くにいるやつの仕草とか反応とか、そういう細かいもんを見過ごしちまうからだよ。
え？なんだよそれ。
やっぱ分かってねえか。ま、いいや。とりあえず今日は留守番しててやるから、好きなだけ飲んできたらどうだ？
おう、そんじゃ行ってくるからな。今夜も朝まで飲んでくると思うから先に寝ててくれていいぜ。
With a grin, he turned and strode out of the room.
あいつ、やっぱり分かってねえぜ。鈍感もあそこまで行くと見事なもんだな。お前がこんだけ分かりやすい反応してんのに。
Yeah. He seemed to find it funny, but after hearing him call me a great lady, my cheeks were still burning, and I couldn't bring myself to even look him in the eye.
なあ、なんで顔真っ赤にしてんだ？
What do you think? I mean, you said I...
あんなことって最高の女ってやつか？俺は思ったままを言っただけだぜ。
I know, I just... How could I not blush when you say stuff like that in front of other people? Suddenly his strong arms were around me. That's one arm, but we'll go with it.
恥ずかしいだけか？
He pulled me closer until his voice was a thick, taunting whisper.
さっきの言葉を聞いた感想だよ。恥ずかしかった。ただそれだけだったのか？
I could feel the heat from his breath brush against my ears as he spoke, and the taut muscles of his arms pressed against my body. My face felt as if it were on fire.
答えてくれねえとずっとこの体勢のままってことになるがいいの？まあ正直言うと俺はそれでも全然構わねえんだな。
He grinned and squeezed me tighter. I was so close now that I could count his eyelashes and feel the rise and fall of his chest. It was nice, but a part of me balked. It was all too much. He was too much. I wanted to run away, but I also wanted to stay. I couldn't bring myself to meet his eyes and speak, so I looked down at the floor and spoke in a squeaky whisper. I liked it. It made me happy. Really happy. That's about as squeaky whisper as you're gonna get from me right now. Harada laughed and ruffled my hair. ...
ちょっと外に出てみるか。まだ寝るには早いしな。
He unwrapped himself from me and stretched. It was still early in the evening, and there weren't many people about. In fact, it was much quieter than I would have expected. But war with the rebels was coming, and the people of Edo knew it. Fear and apprehension had dampened the city.
たく、もう3月だってのに、今日は妙に冷えやがるな。
Yeah, I know. Maybe we should have brought our jackets. Harada held out a hand.
手貸せよ。繋いでやるから。その方があったかいだろ。
What? No, I'm fine.
俺がつなぎてんだよ。いいから、ほら。
The dreaded ah. Ah! Without waiting for a response, he reached out and took my hand in a firm grip. A man in Western clothes holding hands with a boy dressed in Japanese ones was likely not a very common sight. Occasionally, passerby would... Okay, that's not me, that's just written wrong. Occasionally, passerbys would glance at us, curiously. But Harada either didn't notice or didn't care. A mother and child on their way home from the bathhouse walked toward us, the child skipping along happily. Harada looked at the child with a softness I'd never seen before.
なあ、お前、子供は好きか?
No. Huh? Oh, yes, I do. A lot.
もし、俺とお前の子供が生まれるとしたら、男と女、どっちがいい?
For a moment, I was too shocked to speak. Yes, we had confessed our feelings to one another, but discussing children was another matter entirely. I felt my face flush red. I'd want a boy.
そうか。最初は女の方が育てやすいって聞いたことがあるんだが。まあ、女の場合、手塩にかけて育てても、いずれよその男に取られちまうしな。そう考えたら、男の方がいいかもな。
Yeah. That wasn't the reason I wanted a boy, but I wasn't about to interrupt. We were talking about our future together, and that was what mattered. It made me happy. What do you plan to do when the war ends? Will you go back to Iyo?
いや、あそこにゃいい思い出もたくさんあるが、嫌な思い出も山ほどあるからよ。イオに戻るよりは、そうだな。海のそばで見渡す限りの水平線を眺めながら暮らしてかな。
You mean like the beach? Harada leaned back to gaze up at the night sky.
新選組を出ることになった時、思ったんだ。俺は土方さんみてえにでかい荷物を背負い込んで生きてはいけねえ。守るものはこの両腕に収まるものだけで十分だ。思想だなんだってしめんどくせえもののために戦うのも性に合わねえ。世の中もっと単純でいいんじゃねえかと思うんだ。絶対に失いたくねえものってそう多くはねえんだからな。
Harada.
とはいえ、お前にそんな不便な場所は嫌だって言われりゃ考え直さなきゃならねえけどよ。
What was I going to say? I feel the same way. To go live far away from the insanity of war with Harada by my side? I thought that sounded just about perfect.
そっか。お前が賛成してくれるなら、それで決まりだな。将来は海のそばで二人で暮らすんだ。余計なことなんて何も考えずにな。
Yeah. I squeezed Harada's hands and he did the same. It would be a long journey to our home by the sea, but I believed in him. I remembered when he told me his dream and had blushed furiously at it. A quiet life with the woman he loved. I wanted to be part of that dream. I gazed up at the stars shimmering over our heads and made myself a secret promise. That dream would come true. Alright, I know I said I was gonna go through them all, but it's like getting late. I've been streaming for, like 2 hours already. My throat's getting a little weird, and I still got 2 more of these chapters to go, and then I gotta see if I want to do the school side thing that I think can happen, that I don't even know how to unlock. So... I think I'm gonna break for tonight. I'm sorry I lied to you. The last 2 chapters we're gonna have to do next time. I guess this one will unlock then. There really are only 2 left, but they keep taking like 10 minutes at a time. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Yeah, I think I'm tapped for the night. So we'll still go to something pretty to look at. Actually, let me see the ephemera while I talk at the end. See how the cherry blossoms are going. But yeah, thanks for... What have we got cherry blossom wise? They don't look like anything's happened at all. They're still budding. What can I do here? Ah, boo. I can't do anything. Oh well, I'll figure it out. Sorry. Boop, boop. Here, now we'll find something pretty to look at. Deep, beep, boop. Find... Harada. I don't know, I kind of like this one. Not that one. Not that one. That one. Alright. So that's the end of this for tonight. We got the 2 more chapters and like his high school modern day side story if I can unlock that. And if I can't, well, we'll figure it out. But man, it's been like otome overload. They just announced like three games for pre-order. Psychedelica the Black Butterfly, Psychedelica the Ashen Hawk, and then 7 Scarlet. Plus I've got the Code Realize limited edition coming, and it's all in the next like 4 or 5 months. So I'm gonna have otome games up the butt to play, which is awesome! Sorry. And then I'm also playing Norn 9, because I never actually played that one. And I'm playing the phone game, Utano Prince Sama, which isn't like a romance one necessarily, because it's like a rhythm game, but it's still there's a lot of stuff for otome fans right now, and it's a beautiful time to be an otome fan. So I just wanted to share that while I rambled on and made my voice even scratchier. Thank you for watching this and letting me have fun by narrating things, even though I kind of screwed up tonight. I'm sorry. It's been a tiring week tonight. No excuses, I should read better, but it's still fun for me. So I hope it's at least somewhat amusing for you guys too. Thanks for sticking around to watch this, and thanks for enjoying Harada's story. And we'll finally get to the end of it next video, next week, however you're watching this, the next session.